Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Ghostbake SuperCoach here with our round 11 review. And once again, as it's been for most of this season, a negative, disappointing, and just frustrating review, to be honest. Trying to stay positive every week is starting to wear very, very thin. Yeah, it's just been an absolute shit show. So I'm gonna have a bit of a rant about it before we get into the team and how we went this week. But as you can see again, just dropping a couple K the last couple weeks. It's been pretty much the same. We had one big week where we jumped up like 10 or so. 15K, and we're just slowly dropping 2K the last few weeks. Yeah, just sick of it, to be honest. As you can tell by the thumbnail, running on empty, and we're only about halfway through the season. So, yeah, very, very frustrating, and trying to stay positive because I don't want to be one of those whingers and sooks that it's just SuperCoach at the end of the day. But when I've done pretty well in the past. Not super great, but this is by far the worst season I've ever had in SuperCoach. It's fucked, to be honest. Yeah, and you try and you bring in people that you think are good, decent, and you think you're doing some smart moves. And I've said it before, but there is a lot of luck involved with your timing of who you bring in and what price and whatnot. And yeah, it just seems like, especially lately, the trade-ins have been horrible. But overall, people or players that have been killing it all year, or you pick players too early that have gone a bit crap, and now they're starting to turn around once everyone else has jumped on board. So, yeah, if you've been watching us since we started from this year, all our videos and whatnot, you'll see the players that we brought in, players that everybody was touting would be, top of the line picks and everything like that. Obviously, it's bye weeks coming up now too, so our bye structure looks pretty good. So I'm hoping that that's where we can start to actually make some ground, and we'll see how we go. But just wanted to touch on quickly. I had a look before about where I've gone, how I've done in the previous seasons, just to have a bit of a comparison. And it's a very, very stark contrast to how I'm going this year. I checked. I think it's only the last 7 years. I've done SuperCoach longer, but I think I might have changed emails or something. I'm not quite sure, but and not every year was as good as my year last year, which was my best. But I did have a look. I think my worst year, I think I had 3 years where I was inside the top 20K. So it was 16, 17 sort of K range, which, it's not the greatest, but compared to this, it's fucking miles better. 53K is absolute dog shit. And I had a couple inside the top 10. I think it was an 8K and like a 6.8 or something like that, 6.9K finish. And then obviously last year, I finished with a ranking of 605 for the year, which is obviously by far my best. So to go from my best season to my worst just shows what kind of season this actually is, and how much it's affecting me, because it's just, I don't have answers for it. I'm picking the players I think will do good, and yeah, they're just not. So like I said, bit deflating, running on empty a bit. Just want to realistically, still obviously want to interact with you guys, and I hope you guys are killing it. If it wasn't for the community, I wouldn't be even doing this. This is obviously the first year I've done content creating too. So thanks to everyone, just for being there and having people to talk to, and share this fucked up roller coaster that is SuperCoach. And like I said, I hope you guys are all doing a lot better than me, which I'm sure you are. But yeah, we'll get into the team in a minute. But yeah, it's going to be a real struggle, especially as the trades start to wear down. I'm just bringing in who I want, and just the scores will just happen. I used to be one of those people that am sitting there with the scores live going up, and I'll check every as it's going. I've completely stopped that this year. I check probably every quarter. Sometimes I've missed games completely and check later just because usually I'm busy if I'm doing that. But it's just easier than sitting there and getting happy, then pissed off, then happy, then pissed off every 2 minutes. So we'll see. By the end of the year, God knows what I'll be doing. So might not be watching it at all. Anyway, let's get through this. Like I said, obviously 21.97 was 2,200 exactly. Then scaling fucked me, so would have been just looked a little bit nicer. But once again, I'm sure most teams have done better than me this week. There's a couple of reasons for it, which we'll go through, but also at the same time, just the team not being good enough, to be honest. So start off. The pig, Archie Roberts, didn't get a chance to be a pig again, so back-to-back sub-tons now, which is not ideal, especially with the run he was given. But a little bit unfortunate circumstances for him. Bombers, a few injuries with Durham going down. Culber had syndesmosis, so couldn't run through the midfield. McGrath out. Just lost a lot of midfield options. So Roberts had to go through the midfield at stages against Richmond. Still took a couple kick-ins. Just it affected his score. 33 touches still, which, he's a ball magnet, gets the ball, but unfortunately not so damaging. So I was surprised. I didn't check his score till the end. I knew he was on mid-70s in the third quarter, and I thought, he's definitely got the 100. He did have a quieter last quarter, which is obviously when the game was in the balance, and just didn't get the scoring. So not good, unfortunately, for a game that a lot of people brought him in for and VC'd him for, which we didn't, but still very, very frustrating if you've got him to get a sub-ton against Richmond of all teams. One thing I do want to say about him is his work rate is outstanding. I was watching it with a mate of mine that goes to the Tigers, so he was quite happy. And I was just pointing Roberts out. I said, just watch this kid work. Just watch him work. And you can say his disposals aren't damaging, and you want to call it stat pad. I say what Parrish does is stat padding. But Roberts hit a few really, really good kicks down the line, and I thought for the most part was obviously solid for a kid. He's 20 years old. He's not fucking 25 and trying to run around and get stats. He's 20. He's doing well in the role he's got, and he's going to be a player of the future for sure. To be a fantasy option like this, the only other two that you see around that level at that age was Sheasel and Nick Dacos at that age. So I want to give him props because even my mate was sitting there watching and was like, wow, he would repeat lead, keep moving sides, he works. It's not like he's just sitting there looking for a cheapie. He does work to create a lot of space, and then he cuts through and makes multiple leads. And it's not like he's a forward, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to give the props to Roberts for that, because I know the scoring might not be great this round, but he's a gun, and I do love him. And I'm sure this week against West Coast will be a lot better. Hopefully no Murdoch tag or any bullshit like that, and everything will be sweet. So look forward to him to bounce back. We'll see how that goes. This was part of the bullshit. Lachie Whitfield out. I know a lot of teams have him, so it's not like it just affected me. But also news that he'll probably miss this week, and then he's got the bye. So seeing as it's best 18, we're not trading him. He's top of the line. Unlike one of the players I did trade out this week, which we'll get to soon. But unfortunate. Heard the news. It originally said no laid outs, and then 20 minutes later, Whitfield's a laid out. Apparently he hurt himself on Friday. So if you've hurt yourself Friday, or you're planning to be managed Thursday, Friday, and the teams know this, fucking announce it. None of this last minute bullshit. Just be why? Just, if you know the player's hurt, we want to give him all the way to the end. Make the fucking call. You're the coach. Make the call. If you're not right, then either don't take the risk and don't name them. Don't wait till 40 minutes before the game and then, sorry, he's out. We'll play this. fucks everything up. So there's a little rant about that. That pissed me off because it happened twice this fucking weekend. But yeah, Whitfield out, so we got Edwards scorer on the bench, which, you know, he's good for a 50 to 60 every week. Will Edwards just there making cash. Might have even been my lowest scorer on, no, McCluggage. So his score actually did count. But yeah, just not what we wanted. So his score will count again this week for us, with Whitfield most likely out. Sinclair starting to build that back up after the big game against Richmond last week at 114. Didn't get to watch a lot of this game because I was watching the Bombers and the Tigers game. Not for quality, just because it's my team and I was watching it with a mate. But yeah, obviously Freo got the chockies, but Sinclair doing what he usually does. Hit his average 114. He's been super solid. Still a D1 level, you would think, at the end of the year. Maybe so with someone else that's just got defender status, which we'll talk about possibly in our trade plans. But yeah, Sinclair bounced back 114. We love it. So that's two or three really good scores in a row now. Lockie Ash, I fucking told you before in our preview video. I told you with Ash, it's between 90 and 110 every week. That's what he's going to get you, and 95. So there you go. Didn't watch the first sort of half of the game. I did turn it on when GWS went nuts in that third quarter, and Ash went nuts early. He had like 9 disposals that quarter. So obviously a lot of the stuff he did was very damaging. He played in the back line with Whitfield out, which is where we want him, but once again scores the same. Did have a bit of attention from McKenna, but he gets his 28 plus disposals every week, and he's always 90 to 110 in SuperCoach. So he's pretty reliable when it comes to that. Unfortunately, would rather him be getting the 110 pluses, not the 90s that he has been getting. Average is still over 100, but only just. See, like, these guys are the ones that jumped on really early. I think it was around 3 or 4. Got Lockie Ash in, and hasn't shot the lights out by any means. So. And spent more on him, which we did with Callahan, which we did with McCluggage, which we did with... Not that McCluggage is expensive still, but yeah, like everyone we've got has just gone down in price. It's fucking insane. But yeah, so hopefully, obviously, you'll probably be keeping that role for next week. I think they've got the Demons, so hopefully we'll be able to get that running carry and keep going. But yeah... yeah, just, like I said, pencil him in for what he's been getting. Jordan Clark, dog shit again. Sick of him. One of the worst starting picks I've got. If I could turf him, I would. Just first half again, same as Ash. They were both like in the 20s, maybe 30 at halftime. Like, it's not fucking good enough. Like, what are you doing? A lot lately, Clark's been starting shit. And then he'll only do good, or he'll either kill it at the start and then drop off, or he starts shit and then has to climb his way back to something respectable. 83, given what he was on, isn't too bad, because if he kept going the way he was going, he was going to drop a 50 again. But I don't fucking get it. It must just be that Freo's just distributing the points more well-rounded, sort of like what Hawthorn do, which is why there's not a lot of Hawthorn options. Freo have more, obviously, with Jackson and even Tracy's as a forward, but we don't pick key forwards. But yeah, he's shit. 80s every week. He's dropped like over 100k. He's just going to sit there. Nothing we can do. Unless he gets injured, in which case, please, so I can just give me an excuse to fuck him off because I'm over him. Lindsay, back down to earth. Thought he would kill it against the Pies, and he looked good early. Didn't get to see the second half of the game. I was out for the second half. And was shocked when I saw that he came back and he saw that he was on 55. Expected a lot more from that. I know a lot of people are jumping off. His break-even's in the 80s. I think he'll easily hit that against Essendon at home. So he's one that I'm keeping this week, just as a heads up. But yeah, Will Edwards, like I said, between a 50 and a 60 is usually pretty solid. Got really good job security, I think. I don't think he's coming out of that Sydney team. I really like him as a player. I think he's just a solid key defender that, does the work. So, yeah, hopefully He just keeps making some cash for us and is good buy cover. Perez flew with the team but didn't play. Played VFL, and I'm pretty sure by his numbers he looked really, really good. So hopefully they can drop somebody and bring him back in, because I think he deserves to be in the team. Still got money to make, just got to actually get that spot in the team. So hopefully he can. Butters was going to be our captaincy option if our VC failed, but like I said, I was out, so I did miss the start of that game. Not a lot of people jumped on Butters. I think originally it was a 101, now it's a 103, so yeah, bit weird, but thought it was 101. Yeah, he's still turning out tons. He's been probably the most consistent in terms since round one in terms of his scoring. So we know what he's going to deliver most weeks for us. Got the bye this week, so he'll sit on the pine. But yeah, he's been solid all year, so can't knock on Butters. Bont 119, bounce back. Obviously, when I don't put him as captain. Was on 100 at 3/4 time, so definitely with the scaling, obviously, when the game is in the balance, it's very easy to gain, lose points, but pretty quiet last quarter from him, but a 119 you take, and yeah, he's sort of going to sit around that 600 and something K mark. But yeah, Bont just being Bont. See how he goes this week against the Pies. Should be a good captaincy option, or VC, depending on, I'm not sure what order the games are in, but obviously he's always a C option, so should do well against the Pies as well. Dacos did say even if he did get tagged, which they tried Hoff on him for a bit, and then they sort of just let him go, he would easily get a spike score if he was left to do his thing, kick 3 goals. Very cheap, 515k is insane for Nick Dacos. We paid a lot more, like we have with all our fucking players. But we've had all of his scores, so it's bound to happen where he has his tag games. But yeah, it's solid. And yeah, he's just doing his thing. Against the Dogs as well. I'm pretty sure he likes playing against the Dogs, so there's another option for captaincy. He's not really going to have anyone go with him. Maybe a Sanders run with roll, but yeah, 124, you definitely take that. And I think he was our highest scorer, maybe other than Sheasel, for the round. Callahan, he actually tons up against Brisbane a lot. Watched the game, he just gets it so many times and just blasts it. And it was the only time like Harris Andrews and Brisbane players in the back line were taking marks. He's just needs to clean up the efficiency a bit and just hit some kicks, because that's the one thing about him. Like his run and pace and the way he can break lines is really good. He just needs to finish off his work a bit more, but close to the 100 average. Hopefully he can get over that. This is another bloke we spent another 100k on top of what he's got now, and everyone's jumped on him when he's cheaper, so hasn't been the greatest of picks, but is what it is. At least he got the ton this week. This next bloke, get fucked. Fuck off. McCluggage, 40-7. Oh, you're joking. This is part of the Brisbane team just being shit the last 2 weeks, which, you know, you wouldn't expect. They got the Dockers this week at home. Hopefully they're going to have some form of response, because at home you can't get embarrassed. Surely you're not going to get embarrassed 3 weeks in a row. Surely. I know that they've been up there for so long and blah, blah, blah. They've still had really, really good games, and they're a champion team. You'd expect to be competitive. Like, being 14 goals in a quarter, that's Essendon level, not fucking Brisbane level, against the Giants. Like, if Essendon can not get scored on that much, then Brisbane can. They're a way better team. So, look, McCluggage is just there now. Hopefully he can bounce back this week at home. Freo don't give anybody any attention, so yeah, no excuse. He better turn up. Otherwise, I'm not going to trade him. It'd be a waste of fucking 2 trades to get the prick in. So, but yeah, 47 from Primos without a tag is absolute bottom of the barrel dog shit. Milan Murdoch, he was originally in our trade plans. Now, thanks to Caleb Sarong being out, and possibly for a month, we decided to turf him because it's 2 to 3 weeks, plus he's got the bye after that, so no way am I holding him. He hasn't been good enough to be holding a top of the line. He's not a top of the line player, so I'm not holding him for that long. If it was 1 or 2 weeks, I'd be like, okay, whatever, but not with a bye in there as well, and the possibility it could be 3 in the bye a month is just too much. So turfed him and kept Murdoch, which worked out well. Got a 94. He did start tagging Josh, so I was a bit like, oh, and then he got moved around and did what he did, and it's an awesome score. Plus now we have his DPP, and I did want to hold him through the bye, especially he's got the Essendon matchup this week, so hopefully he doesn't tag Roberts, which I think they just better back themselves in because they should win at home against us. So happy I held him and Turf Sarong instead, so that'll be good. Reshko killed it on Friday night against the Bombers, 107. It was on like mid-50s or something at three-quarter time. So he had a big last quarter and was a big part of Richmond getting that win. Just love the way he goes about it. Runs his ass off. He's very calm with his kicking. Doesn't like to rush a bit. So love Paddy Reshko. It will be a bit harder this week with the Swans, but 107 compared to some of the shit scores. Like he's one of the best scorers in our midfield this week. So you take that. Anderson obviously didn't play. So we had the emergency on Cumming just to see what he'd get. 72, more than happy to take that as a backup. So left Anderson on the field. If not, we were going to field Jack Ison, which we'll get into that as Ison was one of the ones that we brought in. But as you can see there, Tanner Bruin, who was in our flex, we had to move because, once again, a late fucking out. Geelong are notorious for it. Lots of talk around Baz, blah, blah, blah. Nope, Tanner. And it was us choosing between keeping him and Tanner Bruin and Lockie McAndrew. We decided to keep Bruin, and he doesn't fucking play. Realistically, didn't lose much points in this, as we'll go to when we get to our flex player, but big decisions with him this week and who we can get for him versus who we can get for someone like a Cumming. I know Cummings just reset his break even, but they got the Swans in the bye. So realistically, I think Cumming will go back to scoring his 30s against the Swans, whereas Essendon obviously were a lot easier of a matchup to get going. So we'll see how we go with that, but we'll have a look about that in our trade video later in the week. Burton, apparently that 60 was just an absolute shot in the dark because he's a 30-point player. That's it. He's not going to make too much more money, so he can just fucking sit there and rot. Never going to be an on-field option at all. I'd rather field nobody. I'd rather field a loop than have him. Here's where we get pissed off. Brodie Grundy. Didn't watch this game too much. Traded him in, checked the scores at the end of the game, and was shocked he didn't even get a fucking ton. Spent all our cash on him, which we still do have about 160 odd K in the bank thanks to Sarong. But ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Bringing him in for a spike score and just, look, a lot of his taps got sharked from Geelong players because Geelong have a very, very good midfield with Holmes and Smith. But Sydney just weren't good enough to let him get the hit-outs to advantage. Edwards actually did a really good job as well. Got a few hit-outs himself. Didn't bring him in for a fucking 95, I tell you that. So, this one really pissed me off. Yeah, he's got Tigers this week, so we'll probably be keeping the VC on him, and he better fucking deliver because we paid up for a spike score and we got that. The other option we could have gotten instead of him was Timmy Taranto, 116. So, 200k cheaper and scored more. So when we try to go value, it doesn't work out. When we pay up for blokes, it doesn't work out. So no matter who we bring in, we just fuck it. So Maxi Gorn, we went with the C. He was doing really well early. Second quarter especially. It was only like 20 at quarter time. He had a big 46 point second quarter. Watched pretty much the first 3 quarters of this game and then didn't watch the last. So as I was driving and out. Gorn was on about 100 at 3/4 time. I thought good. He would get at least a 125, 130. That'll do great. Check the scores after the game. Only got a 14-point last quarter. So, yeah. Better than what most people, I think, had as their captaincy scores, but not by enough. So it didn't really help, which is unfortunate and shit, but it is what it is. So, meh. Just not good enough. Again, when we look like we're going to do all right. Sheasel, 125. We did say against the Gold Coast that he would do well. Unfortunately, Davies Uniacke did a little bit better, kicking that winning goal. But 125, we'll lump Petrarca in there too. A 118. We knew against each other they should do all right. Petrarca did have a little bit of attention from Foz, who also went to Anderson. Then they just dropped the tag and end up North getting the win. So hopefully they just stop fucking tagging with Foz and let some players play. That's not going to fuck our fantasy scores up. So yeah, good from Sheasel and Petrarca. Flanders again, another 111. He's just, without Naz there, sort of playing half back, a little bit of mid-time. He's killing it. I want Naz to stay up for a lot longer, please, while Flanders is teeing off here. But yeah, another great score from Flanders. Like we said, he's just there. We just keep him. Most people have him, so it's not a big deal. Bailey, 86. Best score he's given us since we had him. Is it good enough? No. Is it good considering what the Brisbane players scored? He was their fourth highest scorer. We'll take that. Compared to some of the scores that the Brisbane players got, 86 is actually not too bad. So, look, there's definitely worse. And this is the thing too. Look at this team. There's a lot of rookie scores. Like, we had no Bruin. Sarong had to be traded. All this shit. We had a lot of rookie scores. But at the same time, like, we didn't have a Houston. Most people have McCluggage, but we didn't have a Houston. We didn't have a J-Mac who got 40s and 50s. We didn't have, like, a Stewart get a 70. Like, and yet we still scored shit. So it's really fucking frustrating. Cook was doing absolute fucking crap again to three-quarter time, and then had a massive last quarter and salvaged it. He'll be going this week, so thank him for all the work he's done. Made a good 200 and something K, and yeah, we'll move him on. We loop with Philippou, 88. He's just getting that. When he gets that time, he's just gold. So very, very happy with an 88. He's sort of made as much. Don't think he'll make too much more cash. It's more about if he can just be a decent on-field score, which he has been. He's made a fair bit of cash. But we're going to hold him, obviously, because he's good buy cover. Be looking to move on, your Cook, your Lombard, and players like that this week. So, and flip Milan into the forward line, and midfield's what's dog shit. We need to really fix that up since we got rid of Sarong and Anderson, who are at shit starting picks. And then Ison was our rookie we brought in. 1 goal, 3, so it could have been a lot more, but Carlton again with a win, and this kid gets involved in the score involvement. So I think he was equal second with Cripps. And just, 75 last week, 70 this week. A must-have rookie now, along with Banfield, who we'll bring in this week most likely. But, that was our Tanner Bruin score, so we were happy with that. And obviously Lombard, we skipped over 58. He was looking really good at halftime. I think he was in the 40s, and then, just didn't do much after that. But he's doing well playing up the ground, and he's made enough now. He's made, 170, 180K, so we'll take that from Lombard when it looked like he was going to be one of the worst picks ever. But yeah, so that's the team. Mediocre, nothing great, pretty shit. We'll work on our trades this week. We should be able to double up. So we'll go through who we can get. There's DCAM, there's Wilkie, there's Taranto we can jump on. But also looking at if we want to move someone on like Bruin, we will be able to go up to a Maxi Holmes, which most of the comp is doing this week. So we just got to have a look at our options, but overall, very disappointing. I actually didn't think I was doing too bad overall, considering the rookie scores that we had were on field were pretty decent. We just had no ceiling scores from any pods or anyone that is low owned, so it just didn't help. So unfortunately, that's just the way it was. We didn't drop too much. 2K is not that much, but hopefully these bye weeks we actually start doing something and can bring it back a little bit and get some respect back, because I'd like to not have my worst finish ever this year. Overall, we'll see how we can scrounge it back, but it's a long fucking way to go. So, look, it is what it is. We'll do our trades. We'll see what happens. It's out of our hands after that. We just got to keep bringing in the blokes that we think are the best, but in saying that, make sure you please give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. We want to try and get to 100 subs by the end of the year, just as a little mini goal for us, and you guys help keep me going because, like I said, I'm running on empty with how shit this season has been, but you guys definitely fuel and help that. So yeah, any likes and subs will definitely help with keeping the enthusiasm up. Don't forget to catch us on SuperCoach Pro's channel on Wednesday for the Hump Day Pump Up. Always good fun. We just, in the middle of the week, talk about what's going on, who we can bring in, and preview the week ahead. And obviously, we'll have our trade video later in the week. Got a feeling it'll be a bit earlier than usual just because got a pretty decent idea of how I want to go. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for the support as always, and hope you guys are smashing it and doing a lot better than me. So hope you had a good week, and we'll see how we go for the bye weeks this week, guys. So catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.